Hi, I'm Rodney A. Brooks. Welcome to RodneyABrooks.com. Today we're talking to Mr. Eric Bailey, who is founder and CEO of Bailey Wealth Advisors, which is based in Silver Spring, Maryland. Welcome, Eric.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So we're going to talk about topics, basically financial advisor and how you pick one, and we're also going to talk about the importance of couples and a financial plan. So let's start out by just basically talking about you are a certified financial advisor, and there are not many black CFPs around.
Okay. That's correct,
Right.
unfortunately.
Yes. So basically, tell us what a certified financial advisor is compared to one without the certification.
Well, CFP is what it's called. It's a Certified Financial Planner, and essentially what it does is it sets a footing for a fiduciary responsibility, because prior to probably 2018, anybody could say that they were a financial advisor, and you saw a lot of people with things on their card. They were a financial planner, a financial advisor, et cetera. But the CFP board had established years ago that in order to get the designation, your activities relative to the client had to be in the best interest of the client. So you couldn't be just a product salesman, et cetera. And of course, historically, people got into the financial services business out of either the insurance business or the brokerage business. Brokerage business has changed a little bit, but back in the day, for your audience, brokers basically just sold stocks that their company underwrote for the most part. And so there was a disincentive from the client's perspective, because you weren't sure whether the broker was buying the shares for your interest or for the company's interest. CFP is a way where we were differentiating to the marketplace that there is a group of professionals who have been trained, have gone through a rigorous development process, testing, et cetera, to make sure that we're on the same footing, let's say with a CPA or an attorney, et cetera. So the public would know that the folks that held that designation actually were above and beyond your fundamental financial person.
Now, and that involved both education and an exam, correct?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yes.
It's a 6-part program that covers income taxes, retirement, investment, estate, risk management, as well as a lot of things about Social Security and some of the benefit structures around the country. So it's 6-part. And then there's a comprehensive exam that you have to pass in order to do so. And then you must have at least 3 years experience in the business in order to use the certification. So they're going to make sure that it's not just an academic exercise, but you actually get some practical experience as well.
Okay, so let's start out. How do you know that you and a financial planner is a good fit, a good marriage?
That really is a function of what you believe as the consumer your needs are, which in most instances financially most people aren't sure what their needs are. I always advocate talk to 2 to 3 people, because you want people, whomever it is you choose, to understand your dynamics, understand your culture, and more importantly, what your vision for you and the family visions are. But I think the shortcoming in many instances is clients have to decide whether they need a wealth manager or a financial planner. And there is a difference, because a financial planner can just be modular, and they're just dealing with one area. Let's say you're getting ready to retire and you want to make sure you dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. Financial planner probably can help you with that. A wealth manager, which is what we do, understands that every financial move you make affects the other areas. So your retirement plan is going to be affected by taxes. It's going to be affected by the rate of return you get on your investment. Do you have the right estate plan? How do you want to leave assets for your children? Do you have a vision for your family to make sure that all the pieces fit?
Okay. So let's use an example. William just recently got married.
Congrats.
And he comes in and sees you. What's the first thing you're going to have a new customer do when they sit down next to you? What are you going to say to them, and what are you going to require of them?
Well, the first thing I say to everyone, whether they decide to engage us or not, is to remember, what's the business of America? The business of America is business. It exists only to do that. The first settlement in America was Jamestown. What was it? A trading post. It was set up to do business. Every family in America is a business. You have revenues, you have expenses, you're either profitable or you're not. If you're profitable, it manifests itself on your balance sheet. Unfortunately, most people don't look at their household or even their individual situation as a business. I mean, I've got two young sons, they're in their late 20s, early 30s, and I say to them, hey, you're a business. You're selling your services to an employer. They're paying you. Now, the question is, are you profitable or are you not? And how do you determine that? So that's the first thing we have clients go through, is understanding that. If they do decide to engage us, we use what we call a pretty heavily forensic analysis, which we're going to want everything. Your last 3-year tax returns, your pay stubs, your mortgage statement. We're going to want to see your benefits from your employer, your current estate plan, your wills, your insurances, because you can't do the job if I don't know where you stand today. I can't help you improve if I don't see all the pieces.
Okay, and so what are the warning signs? I mean, basically, they're a business, they're either successful or they're not. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what might you see that says, okay, we need to turn this around, you need to do something different?
One of the first warning signs is, of course, if I look at your income structure, because any business, when the CEO or chief executive or whomever, they're evaluating 3 financial tools in any business, household or whatever, which is my balance sheet growing? Is my income statement suggesting I'm spending more than I'm bringing in? And then, am I overpaying in taxes? So the first thing I want to see is, are we profitable? So the first warning sign to me is, we say our household income is $550,000. We say we only spend $150,000. However, savings accounts aren't growing. Investment accounts aren't growing. We have some, what we call gas is going out of the back of the tank, and nobody knows where it's going. That is the first warning sign, and what you see quite often.
Okay, and so after you get all this information, you you put it into a budget, or you have them put it into a budget, and then what's the next step in the financial planning process?
We then ask them to complete an expense sheet, and depending on the income levels, because we've got some clients that make over $10 million a year, they're not going to know where every penny went. Okay, and we're not presuming that they will, but on average, people should know within 10% where their money's going. And the traditional things are obviously housing, food, clothing, transportation, health care, those things. So what we're going to want to do is make sure that they understand and we understand what they believe their expense patterns are. Now, through our forensic analysis, we will be able to show them what their real expense patterns are relative to what they gave us. And now we've got to match this up to say, okay, which model are we working with?
And most planners say that people generally underestimate what they spend, their expenditures by a lot, right?
Yes. Well, yes. And I've had couples sit down and, what we do is modeling, just like an economist or a business analyst, to say, okay, we took your data, put it in here. What we're showing is you should have an extra $150,000 left at the end of every year after paying taxes, because you only do 3 things with money. You save it, you spend it, or you pay taxes. And typically the husband or spouse will look at the other and say, what are you doing with the money? So so there are times when there's a reckoning to say, where is the money going?